their huntings and all of those things like clay tablets and then we bake them with the fire or where the paintings which are done on the wall.
A very important bit of what makes us unique as a species is the ability to have collected thoughts and to express them. And we have had, over the years, numerous and pretty amazing means of communication. And as a little tribute to them, we are here to talk about how they came to be what they are. I'm Shivam, and I have with me,
Ruchika.
Sia.
And I'm Avani.
and it all started tens of thousands of years ago at the caves. Would you like to tell us a bit about it?
About the caves, I remember the cave paintings and the paintings which were done on the walls and the ceilings of the caves and of the large wild animals, the traces of the human hands and the abstract patterns. And I think cave paintings are more than 40,000 years old.
Right, 40,000.
Yeah, and cave paintings were used to document their huntings and all of those things, like tales to tell that they would pass on to the next generation. And it was, I think, yellow ochre and red were the colors that were used that you see, you that were used most of the time,
Paintings,
because those were the colors which were easily found or made.
Right, naturally.
Yeah, they were naturally found. So
Yeah, but like when the pictures weren't sufficient to tell the story, they turned to writing,
Oh,
like on clay tablets. They made impressions of letters and stuff on the clay tablets, and then they baked them in either fire or like directly in the sun.
right.
And yeah, it was like a really good way of keeping information. And we have many of those even now, but the sun baked ones was the ones which were recycled,
Right.
and like they were moist, so they were like reused again. But the fire baked ones are the ones which are like we have still even now in museums and other places.
Could you tell us a little bit about Acta Diana? Could you tell us a little bit about Acta Diana?
Acta Diana, they were the official Roman notices and they were carved on the stones and metals and they were presented in the public places. Yeah, that's what I know about Acta Diana.
and what about the bow?
Debao were the recorded newspapers, earliest recorded newspapers, and they were originated in China.
Yeah, like I remember a thing called codex, which were like the first known
books, yeah.
books. Yeah.
And that reminds me of the book that I completed yesterday, 1984, by George Orwell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've read
Read
it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the future that that book predicted is the time that we're living in now.
Yeah, it's a dystopian novel, so
Right.
it
And
shows.
what it predicts is that the government has us under constant surveillance and it uses the media to do so.
Yeah,
Doesn't
and
that remind you of something?
yeah, it's funny because now you see FBI agent memes.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so we just take it so lightly, and they possibly have all our information. Like even this is might be recording right now.
I
Yes,
think that is mostly through social media. Like we are constantly updating our lives on social media. So I think it is like the easiest way to know what we are doing. Like constantly people are uploading stories. So yeah, I think.
I feel like even when you have your account on the private mode, I don't think it's really private. I mean, your information is still out there. So,
It is actually a very brilliant idea to use social media to spy on people. I mean, if they do it, we have got something to be scared of.
yeah. And there's actually a series called Black Mirror on Netflix.
Right.
It shows what could be if technology took control over us instead of like us controlling technology. So how far can we go with this thing, with technology?
But it's crazy how we have such an immense variety of TV shows and documentaries and movies so easily available to us. But it wasn't like this back then.
Yeah, the first motion picture known literally shows just people walking out of
Right.
factories. And so I think it's a pretty big deal that we've come from that to now we have Avengers and like whole lot of universes
Mhm.
and series and films and
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's like a totally different world of animation and things which don't exist at all. But
Thanks to
like the
computer
human
graphics.
brain, yeah, computer graphics, everything has been possible because of that.
And even animations, if you see, like it is because of like how brilliantly has Pixar developed its animations. Like it's a big deal. Like you
Pixar.
see Lion King, the old one,
Yeah.
and now you see that it actually looks like real animals are talking. So that's pretty mind blowing.
What do you have to say about the TV shows that have kept Indian aunties busy for years now?
It's funny.
Those are like the
Saas Bahu drama.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Isn't it pretty addictive though? Like you'll hate on it, like, it's so bad.
Yeah,
Even
like
though
they keep repeating
everybody's-
the
yeah.
same things again and again.
But I
same
guess they keep
storylines.
watching it because like they find it relatable because like they're all grown up and stuff. But
I mean, who can relate to some Sasuma shooting her own bahu? No,
Yeah,
but it's
no.
still addictive. It is still addictive. Like
Yeah.
you'll sit and you're like, let me just talk bad things about it, and but I still want to watch. Like
Yeah.
I still
It's
want to know
ongoing
what
cycle.
happens next. So,
You're forgetting radio. How can we forget radio?
oh yes.
yeah, radio is like the only form of entertainment because before I got my first phone, like I used to listen to songs on it, movie ratings, and I used to get to know about the stuff happening around news, basic news, everything I used to get to know from the radio, and it was like basic entertainment.
And we do that now using our mobile phones.
Yeah.
And what amazes me the most is the excitement that people show when they're debating, the favorability of one sort of media over the other, like print media
Print media
versus
versus-
the electronic media.
I feel like so newspapers and like the articles that you read online, it can be substituted easily for like one or the other. But the most prevalent that at least I've seen is the ones of ebooks versus our normal paperback books.
Right. Kindle has almost completely obliterated the normal paperback books. Only the esoteric, eccentric people who are still in love with the actual feeling of holding a book in their hands read books. Others all go to Kindle.
I think
Yeah.
people will never stop reading newspapers and like books, like like, it
Because
will
they
never
want
get
real
old.
stuff.
What do
in
you
their
prefer?
hand to
Do you
read, like-
prefer
I prefer book, like
having a book
Actually
in your
having a
hand?
book in your hand. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
what, that's
turning
what I
the
prefer
page.
too.
yeah.
That's it.
So that is how I grew up, like
It's like whenever I want to buy anything on Amazon, a book in particular, it asks me it asks me options like, do you want to buy the Kindle version? Do you want to buy the paperback versions? I always pick the paperback version. It's like however much I want, I'll have to pay for it. The paperback version
And
is the
books
best.
make the best presents.
Yeah,
You cannot simply give a Kindle version of a book to
Oh, you
someone you
can.
love.
it's like
You can if you're
That's not
Ambani.
fun. Let us not forget about the most substantial advancements in the evolution of media, the computers.
Oh yeah, the first ever computer invented. It was as large as it could fit your whole apartment.
and now they are so smaller in
Yeah.
size. The laptops, the tablets, like people nowadays use for multimedia purposes and playing video games.
And you can like carry them like anywhere.
Yeah, they are so
wherever you want.
portable nowadays.
But don't you think laptop and computers and even our phones is just a block, like just a device without internet. Internet is so important. Our devices basically seem lifeless if there's no internet connection
Yeah,
to it
exactly.
for us to access information. Oh, it's everything we want to know about is there on the World Wide Web. Like the first web browsers and like it everything, like whatever you want information,
can
it's
just
there.
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To make a bad metaphor out of it,
Yeah.
I'd say that love is like the internet. If it's not there in a relationship, people play
Yeah.
games.
that, that's good. Podcasts. They're like one of the most recent forms of media.
And they are digital audio files that the users can download and listen to.
Right, and they can range from anywhere from 5 minutes to like it goes on for an hour and so, and they're like a series of mini episodes. So one can be about there's a BBC in the nature one, so they have for one Earth, and then you have for information on different things, and there's also like just random people talking. Even musicians have podcasts.
Now that we have spoken about so many different forms of medias, I'd like to know what your favorite forms are and
So
why.
yeah, okay. So mine is streaming services basically. I mean, not exactly streaming services. If I wanted to specify more, I'd say YouTube because like it's just fun to watch videos and like I personally like watching interviews and those kind of things. And yeah, so even podcasts.
Cool. What is yours?
Mine would be books, like print media all the time.
Of course.
I'm a big supporter of it.
And mine would be video blogging because I have a YouTube channel and I love creating videos and entertaining people. So video blogs, of course. And yours?
I love Instagram because memes. We all have our favorites, but what if you had the chance to obliterate one form of media completely from the history of time? Which would it be and why?
I think it would be telegraphs because I don't know. I just feel like they were pointless. I mean,
But telegraphs were pretty important
Yeah, during
because
war,
yeah.
and it was important to communicate with the people from like far away places. So
And they used
it was
Morse
like,
codes.
yeah,
And so were radios. Like you had different frequencies that a particular group knew. So they could tune into that frequency and then they could hear what the other people had to say.
so I guess everything is important because one invention inspired the other one.
yeah.
I think pretty much it because it's like a circle, right?
Yeah.
So
So
you
we
cannot
cannot
break
exclude
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all forms of media are pretty important and interdependent on each other.
Right. So, what we learn from this is that every step in the evolution of media was important for the next one to happen. And that is all, folks. If you made it till this point, congratulations.
Thank you. Bye.